Hello everyone, welcome to Tarot on Purpose. In this reading, we're going to be asking for information from Witchy Wisdom. We have 4 piles to choose from. This is pile 1 with the Everyday Witch Tarot, with the 5 of Swords, and this tumbled amethyst. Pile 2 is the Dark Mansion Tarot, High Priestess, number 2, and this amethyst cluster. Pile 3 is the Ask the Witch Tarot with 10 of Wands. And this amethyst double point. And pile 4 is the Witch's Wisdom Tarot with the 8 of Earth, 8 of Pentacles, and this raw amethyst. This video is actually the first in a series that I'm going to be doing on forgotten knowledge. In a lot of the readings that I've been doing recently, they are talking about a time of transformation coming through for us, and Spirit and Universe want us to remember that we don't have to throw out or release everything and do a complete change. They are letting us know that those that have come before us have worked hard to give us blessings of things that are helpful for carrying forward even during times of transformation. And the purpose of this reading is to make sure that we get information about things that can still be helpful for us when making that decision about what to release and what to let go of. This is the first video in that series, and I will be using these amethysts in all of those videos that I do, but they'll be aligned with the different piles based on how the energy matches up. So when you decide what pile or piles you would like to view, I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to this reading where we're asking for information from Witchy Wisdom. We're asking Spirit and the Universe for information that is related to forgotten knowledge, things we may have forgotten about that those who came before us knew all about, the ancient, tried and true traditions that can be helpful for us, especially during times of transformation, and we're trying to decide what to keep and what to release. So you've come to the reading with the Everyday Witch Tarot, which we'll set aside for now, and this tumbled amethyst crystal. Amethyst is great for connecting with spirit. It's also a calming stone. Kind of does everything. So we'll be starting with these 4 oracle cards. We have the first card is the Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle. And you have Chills, number 5. Upon my flesh within thy bones quivers a crawling frozen in numbness. Shall I ignore or shall I bestow it? A frozen knowing looks back at thy soul. This first card is intended to be a general idea about the forgotten wisdom from the witches. And in this case, it's telling us with chills, it's a connection to the body and how you feel, how those feelings can give you information about the situation you're in and your environment. And of course, it says on there, shall I ignore or shall I bestow it? So that's a great card, basically aligning with the question we're asking for information from Witchy Wisdom. The second card from the Magical Spell Cards Oracle was meant to be an idea about what we can do to benefit from this knowledge. And you have Inspiration, number 19. Reduces to 10, 1 or 0. Isis, goddess of magic, I ask thee to bring your inspiration to me. So this is bringing in the goddess Isis, strong, feminine goddess from ancient Egypt. So we're matching up witchy wisdom with ancient Egyptian knowledge here, bringing in some inspiration in some way, potentially connecting with how your body's feeling to know when you're being truly inspired or if something is just a temptation. I think is coming through here about the decision making between true inspiration and temptations that may be leading to short-lived outcomes. From the Green Witch Oracle, we have Vitality with the Fig, number 32, reduces to 5. You have Taurus energy on there. Also the Serpent energy there. Remember, the serpent is a sign of renewal, constantly being able to renew itself with how it sheds its skin when it no longer serves it, and it can't grow without shedding its skin. So with this card here, the Chills card from the Seasons of the Witch, telling us to pay attention to how we're feeling and how our body is feeling, what our energy levels are, and the serpent being on this card here from the Green Witch Oracle. It's telling me to pay attention to when you feel constricted, when you feel like you may have outgrown something, and it may be that you just get a heavy type feeling or a tight feeling or feeling closed in or trapped, even if it's a pretty strong energy or a pretty prominent thing that you need to let go of. Like if the timing is really coming into play where it's definitely time to release something and move on, then that tight feeling is probably going to be stronger than if it's just the beginnings of some kind of change. This is a timeless reading, but I chose this Earthcraft card to go here because of the spring look on there with the butterflies and flowers blooming in the bright colors, because this is the Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle, and it, the timing of this reading is on the cusp of moving out of winter into spring, so it really was kind of a last chance for me to use this Yule Oracle in an appropriate time where it matches up with the Earth cycles. So we could also use this as an indication of timing potentially from winter into spring. So from the Earthcraft Oracle, you have 40. Transform with Raven. This is telling me that the witches and the Witchy Wisdom wants you to remember that during times of transformation, not only during times of transformation, but especially during times of transformation, Spirit is there with you in this Raven spirit here, and it's letting us know that we have information from ourselves, how we feel, what our energy levels are, what we do truly feel inspired by, what increases our energy level. It's a matchup of how we're feeling and then guidance coming in from Spirit to help us through transformation. So it's a team effort basically here. Isis was the goddess who went all over the world to find the different pieces of her partner and put them back together, right? Osiris, I believe. And so we have partnership coming in here, a partnership between you and a partnership between you and Spirit. And then also consider the partnerships that you have available to you in the earthly plane within your support network, what partnerships can be beneficial for you during times of transformation. And because we have this vitality card here, it's telling me that you'll know true inspiration when you have that feeling of vitality, that you feel healthy, you feel energetic, you feel good, you don't feel any pain. Even if it's for a very short amount of time, you have some kind of ease in the pain you may be feeling when you think about something or you hear something or you feel something. Even that just momentary soothing of pain can be an indication that that is in line with what you should be doing. Okay, let's get some information from Tarot. I'm going to find a card from the Isis Oracle that I have for you since it came specifically out in your reading, but first I want to get some more information from Tarot about this. Witchy Wisdom, please, to help us recognize the signs of transformation and inspiration that we should be following. How do we know when to listen to our body, what the right signs? How do we tap into that? Becoming aware of our feelings and how to follow that intuition and inspiration. There we go. Oh, this one right away. 8 of Cups. Yeah. Walking away from something here. That's good. This to me right now is just telling me this is confirmation that it's going to help us figure out the right time to walk away and make that decision. And she's got her cat with her. So her partner or her support network and spirit next to her. And then she's got a bag full of something and her broom. So she's taking something with her, her own resources with her, as well as tools and knowledge that's available to her to carry forward to her next phase of life, next phase of her journey. We have one cup here that has some swirling steam or smoke coming out of it, indicating that there's, well, actually two things, indicating either that there's still something in there that may, be nice and it may be a little bit sad to leave behind, but also it could be, like when a candle goes out, the waft of smoke that comes up from a candle when it goes out, it may be that candle has just gone out, and this is an indication of timing here. So that's a sign from the sign or symbol from the universe about timing is, when the candle goes out. I do use that in my readings with the candles I use, with how they behave and if they're going out or not. Letting us know that there are ways that we can pick up on that confirmation that yes, you won't be alone in making the decision on when it's time to move forward, because there will be people and spirit there, signs and symbols to help guide you with, especially with how your body's feeling there. Oh, wow. The Hanged Man, number 12. Reduces to 3, new perspectives. Yeah, walking away from something to see new perspectives, taking time to make sure that you're reflecting and considering things. She's not running away from these cups here, right? She's just setting out on her journey, and the Hanged Man indicates time and patience. Taking the time that you need to truly reflect on things. Okay. All right. These tarot are saying it's time for me to get you an Isis Oracle. I'll be right back. This is the Isis Oracle. So I'm going to set these 2 aside for now. Well, these 4 aside for now to give some space here. And because Isis specifically came out there, and that card is asking Isis for some inspiration, I want to see what's going on with that energy. Okay. Okay, we have Divine Sun Child. Blessings of the Sun Falcon. We have two birds coming out strongly in your reading. We have the raven on this card here, and we have the falcon card here. Divine Sun Child, reminding you that you're a child of the universe. The guidebook for this does talk about the story of Isis and Osiris that I mentioned before, about how Isis had to go find the different pieces of Osiris after he'd been torn apart and put him back together. And then this is talking about the sun child, the sun falcon, being Horus. And you see the Eye of Horus in a lot of different places as a sign. That may be something that is a sign for you about how to tap in to your inspiration at that moment, or that you're on the right path. It talks about Horus being born in really impossible circumstances, is what it says, because you know how the mother and father had been separated, and then they had come back together through persistence and magic, really, and then the child was born. So this card also talks about being a metaphor for divine masculine and feminine energy, birthing a new creation when you match those two up, when you match the strengths of masculine and feminine energies. So masculine would be like the creativity, the action, the decision making. Then the feminine would be the compassion, the kindness, the intuition, and the nurturing guidance. When you match those two up, then something beautiful and magical is born. That right there is speaking about old sacred wisdom, balancing the masculine and feminine qualities that we all have within us to make something magical. And we can listen to our body about how it's feeling to know when we're tapping into the right types of inspiration. And remember, at the beginning, we had the reminder that it's not only what you feel, but also guidance and information from spirit and universe. So this is telling you to pay attention to your body. The witchy wisdom is pay attention to how you're feeling during certain situations. And then also to let you know when you're on the right path. Universe and spirit will be sending you signs and symbols. So you have the Eye of Horus as a symbol. You have the falcon. You have the raven. I'm not sure if I have anything that shows the Eye of Horus symbol if you're not familiar with it. I'll think about what I have as we're going through the rest of the tarot here, and I'll see if I can find something that will show you what the Eye of Horus looks like. Ancient Egyptian knowledge, of course, coming through. Also, the symbol that, sorry, one second here. The symbol that Isis has on her crown here, usually it's like a crescent moon, but it's also kind of seen on the High Priestess card. It's matching up with how the Taurus symbol looks there. So Taurus energy coming in here, that's the earthly, practical, of course, the finer things in life, abundance with vitality there, the really sweet things in life that we work to build and then sustain and just make life much better for us. What more from tarot for Witchy Wisdom? Okay, we have this one flipping over right away. The Queen of Pentacles, yeah. Look at how many cats she has around her, playing on her pile of money and with the flowers and the bees. Definitely material abundance. That goes in really well with the mention of Taurus there. Abundance and happiness on the earthly plane in the material world by connecting to spirit and balancing within you the masculine and feminine qualities. Okay, we have this one here. Oh, no way, the King of Pentacles. Beautiful. And you have this same symbol here with like a little half circle and circled together. Look at that. You have the King and Queen of Pentacles coming out right there together. So, so beautiful. Another reminder of balancing the feminine and masculine. I almost wonder if the Witchy Wisdom coming through for you right now is to tell you, no, really, we mean it. This divine feminine balancing those it's a thing. Like, it's a thing that is helpful, because I hear that a lot. And the more we hear something and we hear it in general terms only, it becomes something that we just almost hear too much, and it becomes cliche. And I think this is coming out to let us know from the Witchy Wisdom that no, balancing the feminine and masculine qualities and energy is a thing. And when we do that, we can make magic and create things and be inspired and live a full life. It's saying it is a thing. Don't discount it just because you're hearing it everywhere and it's a general message that is given without much specific information to follow along with it. You have Taurus energy on here, matching up nicely with the 32 Vitality Fig card there. So let's carry on with that idea. Okay. Is this too many? We've got 4 there. Let's carry on with this idea about the masculine and feminine energy that we're being told to balance. We've got 4 cards coming out here, and 2 are going to be over here and here. And let's see what we get, because it's telling us that balancing masculine and feminine energy is a thing that then can create magic and put our lives back together. Also, if you think of the mythology that went with the Isis and Osiris story, put our lives back together. If they're separate right now, if we are thinking that masculine and feminine are 2 separate things that can exist without each other, we're misinformed. And we need to know that they need to go together in order to be successful and make good decisions and be emotionally fulfilled and create magic in the world. So these 2 over here, okay, these are going to go over here. This is coming in the middle here. So let's get an idea of some specific information, please, Spirit and witches and universe, about something more specific about this idea of the masculine and the feminine, please. 2 cards each from tarot to help us with that, please. Starting 1 each at the same time, for, if I can, with my silly fingers here. We have the World, 21 on the feminine side, and 11 Justice on the masculine side. Right away, the first things I'm hearing is dream and chase your dreams and be fair with everybody. Chase your dreams in a fair and balanced way where you're not putting other people down or raising other people up just so you can have your dreams come true. It's saying that we can chase our dreams and do so in a fair and balanced way. There is a lot of greed in the world, right? So this is telling us that we don't have to be greedy in order to get this abundance. We don't have to take away from other people. Pile one, I'm not telling you that you do this right now. I'm telling you what the Witchy Wisdom Spirit Universe information is coming through in terms of that time-tested, forgotten knowledge that is still helpful for us. So please don't take this as me saying that you are greedy or selfish. This is not saying that. This is saying that people have forgotten that everybody can be abundant and chase their dreams without taking away from somebody else or pushing somebody else down. And also, something important coming through is that chasing your dreams and wanting abundance, wanting health and wealth and good things for yourself is not being greedy. It's just wanting what everybody should be able to have. So no feelings of guilt here if you are being successful and seeing the fruits of your labor and you have money coming in and you have good health and you have good relationships. Don't feel guilty about that for any reason. It's what's meant for us. We're meant to have a full and happy life. So don't feel like you're being greedy just because you're taking care of yourself. Yeah, two really good messages coming in there. That the first one was that we can chase our dreams and still be fair and balanced and treat people fairly. And the second one is chasing your dreams and accomplishing material abundance is not being selfish or greedy, and don't feel guilty about it. And then the other two from feminine side and masculine side, please. We have the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords. Air energy, mental and thought energy coming in here very strongly. So Three of Swords talks about loss and heartache. Ten of Swords talks about having come to a point where the stress of life and anxiety of life has knocked us down a little bit. But it is an end of a cycle. It's almost come to a point where it can't keep going in that way. So it's time to move on from that. And things will be moving on from that. If you look at this card, there's somebody running away from her. And you have this cat here, almost like that cat scared whoever that is that hurt this person. That cat is scaring him away and keeping him away. And this person is still persisting and still strong. They've been knocked down, but they're reaching out for the resources that they have available to them. So it's almost like an indication that things will reach a point where a universe will step in and your own intuition will step in, and the things that are causing stress and anxiety will be pushed away from you, or they'll be running away because you're no longer allowing their power to be more powerful than you, because you realize you have the resources available within yourself and from the environment and your support network and from spirit that you can grab onto to chase away that stress and anxiety. Yeah, a lot coming through on that side. The masculine energy coming in to tell you you are strong and that you can chase away stress and anxiety. The raven is appearing here again, and we have a little black feather here. Transform with the raven. Raven coming through is a big spirit guide for us in this reading. In the guidebook for this number 40, Transform with the Raven, it says raven is a symbol of transcendence and a need for new perspective. So that matches up with this Hanged Man card here, number 12 that we had come out about new perspectives. It says the raven is intelligent and able to quickly adapt to changing circumstances, and they see potential where others see only uselessness. Yeah, you see a lot of Ten of Swords cards where the person is face down and almost looks like they've given up, but this person hasn't in this card. They're still reaching out. They see potential and they know that things aren't useless, that it's still worth trying for. Chasing your dreams is still an actual thing that we can do. And the feminine energy coming in and telling us that time for reflection and thinking about effective communication with ourselves, others, and spirit is important. So if you look at this card, you have a journal here. The ink pen is spilled, but this person has made an attempt, right, to journal, to write about what they feel, to express what they feel. They've made an attempt. And they've faced some setbacks here, but they haven't thrown this journal out, right? It's still there on the bed, waiting for the person to come back to take time for reflection and figuring out how to express themselves effectively. Written communication may be helpful for you, Pile 1. Even if it is just journaling and writing things down. All right, let's continue with the rest of the oracles that we have here. From the earthly spirits and, from the earthly souls and spirits moon oracle, you have soulful. Look at that awesome little owl and a bee. Soulful. Bee is abundance. You had bees coming through with, one of the cards had a bee on it. Yeah, this little cat right here is playing with a bee. Bees are symbols of resilience also and abundance. And then the owl, of course, is wisdom, higher perspective. Yeah, this raven, transform with raven card, and the hanged man coming out to let us know that new perspectives are important and needed. So that's helpful in terms of taking ancient knowledge and giving it a new perspective and figuring out how that applies to our time. And you'll know when you've found something that is helpful in that way, because it'll speak to your soul. This aligns with this chills, body sense, pay attention to how you're feeling card. You'll get a feeling that something just speaks to your soul and you'll just know. From the Raven's Wand Oracle, you have Night Watch. Another strong protective spirit guide coming through. Look at that wolf, ready to fight off anything that may be threatening these children who are sleeping. And look how peacefully they're resting. Yeah, resting is important coming through again as time-tested information that is important. We had that in this Three of Swords come out. We had that with the Hanged Man. And then this matches up really well here where this cat is chasing away whatever has bothered this person. This is your own intuition, but also a strong spirit guide. And then this wolf spirit guide here defending these children as they're sleeping, ready to keep things away. So we have spirit and our own intuition, cat as a sign of intuition, chasing away the things that cause us stress and anxiety. And then we have, and there's a raven on there again. Raven, strong spirit guide and symbol for you, Pile 1. And the wolf there, ready to keep anything that may threaten these children. Keep them away. Keep it away. Defend them. So chasing it away and keeping it away. And these children look like they're in a place where they're ready to dream. There's a ballet slipper there. There's a book reminds me of, nighttime storybook, dreams. Yeah. Spirit defending your dreams, your ability to dream. Look at that. These children have to be asleep to actually literally dream, right? not in terms of something that may be not something we just hope for, but something that we're actually dreaming about in our sleep. They have to be asleep in order to dream, and spirit is there protecting them. This guidebook for this night watch card says that even though this wolf has strong protective instincts, he must act only when absolutely certain. So this is reinforcing the idea of taking time to thoroughly consider the different options and perspectives going on in a situation. And we had the idea here at the beginning about learning about what true inspiration is versus what may just be a temptation. And this is reinforcing that. And it says instinct on there. So that's saying trust your instincts, trust your intuition. Take the time to make sure that you're listening to your body, listening to how you're feeling, and then also paying attention to your surroundings for signs and symbols from the universe, because those two are going to align really well with each other when there's a decision or information for you to follow, an option for you to follow. Things will line up. We just have to make sure we're paying attention and watching out for them. Our body will tell us, and the universe and spirit will tell us, and they'll match up nicely when something is really strong in terms of what we're supposed to be following, what we're supposed to be doing. From the Oracle of the Novice Witches, you have Prospero with faith. Yeah, have faith in the universe. Here's this symbol again. I know this is like a lyre or a lyre, a harp, where it's a swoop down and up. I don't know how to describe that symbol, but it's everywhere in your reading. It's like an upside down crescent moon almost. The Queen of Pentacles has it on her head. The King of Pentacles has a throne made out of it. Isis has it on her head. It's the Taurus symbol. Isis again has it on her head there. Maybe just even seeing shapes like that may be a good sign that the universe is with you, and have faith. Look at all this swirling energy here. But this person is not brought themselves down into the chaos. They've closed their eyes and are reflecting, staying above the chaos by remaining calm and thoughtful. Yeah, oh yeah, these two, both swords energy. Thoughtful, remaining thoughtful. All right, and you actually got 2 cards from the Enchanted Spell Oracle. So the first one you have is Abundance. Yes, there's the Eye of Horus. Nice, nice, nice alignment right here. This is the Eye of Horus that I was talking about when this Falcon, Sun Child, Sun Falcon card came out. This is the symbol. Super cool, pile 1. How it came out in your reading, and this is Isis all again. Holy cow. Wow, 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 wow. We have on here the clove, orange peel, and cinnamon. Abundance. Yes. Isis is a strong guide for you guys as well, pile 1. You have the Ankh symbol here. The anchor cross, basically a symbol of life. This goes so nicely with the Isis card that came out here, the Vitality card that came out here. Of course, we chose from the Isis, and then the 2 Queen and King of Pentacles. They're a partnership all through your reading. Nurture your partnerships, pile 1. Another Witchy Wisdom message coming out. Nurture your partnerships with other people and with spirit and with yourself, right? You can have a partnership with yourself. That idea of not standing in your own way is what I'm talking about with like being a partner with yourself, helping yourself instead of standing in your own way through fear and doubt and worry. That is so cool how the Eye of Horus came out. Yeah. Witchy Wisdom coming through. tying to ancient Egyptian wisdom here. There's a better look at I'll put it over here in case you pause, so that little pause thing that happens. Beautiful, pile one. And then the other card that you had from the enchanted spell is Shine. Look at that. There's that upside down crescent sign again. It says Holly. Okay, we have an indication of timing on here with July 8th to August 4th. Don't dim your light, pile one. Time to shine. Summertime, the middle of summer coming through here. This holly, the guidebook for this is saying that the holly, of course, has a really strong connection to the season of Yule, which is kind of cool because this is the seasons of the witch Yule oracle. So we have an indication of timing here with 2 Yule seasons, December timeframe, winter timeframe. Keywords with this card in the guidebook are confidence, majesty, and limelight. This card is indicating with the July 8th through August 4th, the Fire Festival of Lammas. I'm not familiar with that celebration, but it may be something helpful for you to look into that celebration and that timing, the Fire Festival of Lammas. Here's how it looks there. This also talks about how this is a protection card against gossip. So I'm taking a little bit of a different meaning from that gossip in terms of, because what came out in your reading earlier about how people say we have to put other people down to get ahead, or we can only chase our dreams if we take away from other people. This is going against the things that are being spread as information that's not exactly true. We can chase our dreams while still being fair to other people, and becoming abundant, healthy, wealthy, and wise is not being selfish and greedy. We can have all that. It's what's meant for us. But fear and doubt and information being spread to keep us down has made us doubt ourselves and feel guilty when we achieve something sometimes. Companionship and partnership all through your reading, pile one. Starting out here with Isis and Osiris, the raven, and this lady on the card. This witch walking away in the 8 of Cups has a cat. The World card has a cat. The Queen of Pentacles has multiple cats. The King of Pentacles has the Taurus or the bull and a loyal companion with the dog. More cats on the Justice card. Cats and another little animal here. The wolf companion. You're not alone in this, pile one. Another message from the Witchy Wisdom that there are partners and allies out there all over. We just have to look for them, whether it's spirit or an actual another person. A lot of different aspects of things coming out in your reading, pile one, in terms of witchy wisdom and forgotten knowledge that is still helpful for us in today's time. And one thing that I'm really getting strongly, this Shine card is really a lot of energy coming out of it with that idea of the things people say. So that also reminds me about how earlier I started talking about the divine feminine and masculine and balancing those and taking time out to rest and trusting in spirit. With the faith card, those are things that we hear over and over and over again, and just hearing them in a general way becomes tiresome if we're not seeing anything improving by doing that or getting tangible information that can help us. So this is also reminding me that in the reading it said these are things that are helpful. even if we just hear them over and over in a general way and we're not really seeing how that applies to us, they are a thing. Balancing feminine and masculine energy is a thing. Taking time out to rest and make thoughtful decisions is a thing. Chasing our dreams is a thing. Becoming materially abundant is a thing. Being fair to other people is a thing. Having a spirit guide protecting us is a thing. So if we were concerned about not having practical guidance, I think this is Spirit and Universe trying to reassure us that these are things. And the reason it seems so general is that it applies in a different way to everybody based on their situation and the environment they're in, their own personality. And then, of course, you had that huge tie to ancient Egypt in your reading, pile 1, with the partnership with Isis and Osiris, balancing the masculine and feminine to make magic here. The Eye of Horus coming out as a good symbol for you, leading to abundance when we act in a fair way, leading to an abundance, being fair to ourselves and being fair to others, right? Not standing in our own way, being a partner with ourselves. Lots of information coming out in this pile 1, and I have this feeling of the message being there but being slightly disconnected, and I'm not sure if I've communicated it in the best way. So Spirit and Universe coming through with saying they have a lot to say. There's a lot of witchy wisdom that we can still rely on. That fire festival of Lammas may be significant for you, as well as any ties to ancient Egyptian information, wisdom, past life information, experiences, additionally maybe coming through here in some way. So much going on with your reading, pile 1. I'm sitting here reflecting on how to kind of tie it together for you because there's so many bits and pieces. It still feels a little disconnected to me. I mean, it's a really weird feeling because it's like good messages coming out, but still a feeling of being disconnected and disparate messages kind of all over the place. Maybe that's how you're feeling, pile 1. If so, this is coming through to let you know that there are things to put together. These are pieces of the puzzle to put together. Yeah, there you go. Okay, all right. So for you, the main message from the Witchy Wisdom, Forgotten Knowledge, is that there is a lot of information out there, and each piece of information, no matter how we're receiving it from ourselves, other people, or from Spirit or Universe, is a piece of the puzzle, and it's up to us to put that together into a full picture for what that means to us during our time and situation and our experiences, whatever we're going through. You're the puzzle maker, puzzle putter together, pile 1. Take all those different pieces of information that you're hearing and decide which ones are important and speak to your soul. You'll know. Your body will tell you with how it's feeling, and you will know when something's speaking to your soul based on how you feel. Energy, happiness, healthy, abundant, just that good feeling. You'll know when those pieces are coming together in the proper way, pile 1. I do hope this came together for a good, helpful message for you, pile 1. I am going to end it here. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this reading, and I hope to see you again in a future reading. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to this reading where we're asking for information about witchy wisdom. What are the forgotten pieces of knowledge that those who have come before us have learned and knew about, but maybe we don't pay attention to anymore or we've forgotten about? And what are those ancient, tried and true traditional things that can still be helpful for us to continue moving forward and transforming? And how do we understand the things that we should release and the things we should hold on to? You've come to the reading using the Dark Mansion Tarot that we'll set aside for now, and this amethyst cluster. You're using amethyst in this series for forgotten knowledge because it's a stone that does a lot of things. It connects us to our intuition. It connects us to spirit. It also is a calming stone. So we're starting the reading with these oracle cards up here. I'm using this Yule oracle from the Seasons of the Witch to indicate the main core piece of knowledge that we're going to be talking about in the reading. And then this is a timeless reading, but I am doing it as we're moving out of winter into spring. So that's why I've put the Earthcraft card there, because it has those bright spring colors on there. And we could be using this as an indication of timing about something, but maybe not. But that's the way I've aligned that top row. So you have from the Seasons of the Yule log, number 44, with insert me with a bleeding thought, a sacred creation birthed from thy. I am God, I am goddess, I am creation and the creator. Number 44. 44, a strong angel number of support and stability. The Yule log being used, of course, during winter festivals. And basically what I'm getting from this is really clear at the very beginning. I am God, I am goddess, I am creation and the creator. So this pile 2 is telling the main piece of forgotten knowledge that the Witchy Wisdom wants to talk to us about is that we are all connected, about universal connection. I realized this when I did pile 1, that the things that are coming out, at least as they did in pile 1, that these are things that we keep hearing over and over again now. And at least I do. Maybe it's because of the resources that I read and watch. I don't know. But anyway, a lot of things being said over and over again, especially in the spiritual community, and we hear them in a general sense, and they just start to sound cliche. Like, you watch enough tarot readings and you hear we're all connected, we're all part of the universe, everything's connected together, we are able to manifest and create things that we want to because we are creation, we are part of the universe. And so one thing I realized when I started the reading was that this is coming through to let us know that no, these are things. The idea that everything in the universe connected is a thing. It is a thing that we should pay attention to, no matter how it's being portrayed by different people or how often we hear it, but don't necessarily get specific information from it. So for you, it's how everything in the universe is connected, and that you are the creation and the creator. You can create the life that you want, pile 2. And from the magical spell cards, this is meant to be like a way that we could tap into this. So you have best possible decision. Number 18 reduces to 9. Artemis, goddess of the bow. Help me see what must be known. Yeah, Artemis coming through is a strong spirit guide for you, pile 2. Intuition, because of the 18 connection in tarot. 18 would be the moon card, talking about connecting to intuition and feminine wisdom. Artemis is a hunter, a huntress. She's got the bow and arrow sign and symbol with her. That may be something for you to watch out for when you're trying to see how everything's connected and how you can be the creation and the creator and make good decisions. From the Green Witch Oracle, you have protection with the onion card. Number 9, no way. 9 and 9 together. This 18 reduced to 9, and then the 9 comes out there with protection. You've got some kind of ritual object here being constructed as a symbol of protection. You have Aries energy on here. 9 is also the Hermit card in tarot, so we're tying together moon energy with hermit energy with that time for reflection. Also, the idea of reflection with how the moonlight reflects on things differently than the sunlight did during the day. So at night, we can see things through a different perspective, slightly different ways. Let me move these down there, creeping up there. From this Angel Numbers from Kyle Gray book, the number 99, because you have the 18 reducing to 9 and 9 coming out right at the top of your reading. It says, "You are having an enlightened moment. Take note of all that is coming through to you at this time." So we also have the idea that Spirit and Universe will be sending us information, signs and symbols we can tap into. You have this symbol on here, which on her head there, that the High Priestess usually wears as well. Definitely speaking about intuition, especially with how that matches up with the Moon card in Tarot. The idea of ritual is coming through pretty strongly in the beginning of your reading. I'm not tapping into any specific ritual, but you have this symbol here, which looks like a witchy thing put together in a forest, maybe with sticks and different things to protect us, ward off the evil spirits, if you will. And then you have the Yule log being a ritual during the winter. So some kind of idea about rituals and habits that are helpful for us coming through in your reading so far, Pile 2. From the Earthcraft Oracle, we have 16, light. Look at that bright, sunny card. 16 reduces to 7, is divine number. Look at how she's floating in that water, soaking in the sun. I'm getting the thought about silence and quietness and how that may be important for you, Pile 2, because this lady is floating in water. Her ears are underwater and she's got her eyes closed, so that's blocking out all the noise of the world. And then the snow during the winter also makes things quieter. It creates a sound buffer when there's a really heavy snow. It just seems quiet outside, if you've ever experienced that. So the idea of quietness is, and the 9 card with the Hermit, quiet, silent, solitude maybe, self-reflection, taking time, not self-reflection, sorry, taking time for yourself to reflect on whatever it is that you need to reflect on is important. It's a thing. Taking time to reflect is a thing. Rituals are a thing. Rituals, no matter what they are in terms of what kind of practice they go along with, the basic idea behind a ritual and why I think they're helpful is because it's something that we can do almost on autopilot. Like, there's so much information coming in throughout the day for us to consider and process that, like, making decisions, you have decision on this card here, making decisions about how to deal with everything during the day can be very tiring. It can make us tired if we're always having to figure out what to do. But if we have some kind of ritual that we do on autopilot, that can be a time for us to still do things and be active and have that kind of active meditative moment without our brain being overworked. We can still do productive things and helpful things without our brain having to work so hard to do it, to try and figure it out. It's that easy thing that we can just do on autopilot. That's coming through as something really important for you, Pile 2. I think that's also the idea of having a morning routine is really talked about in the self-help, self-improvement world, with people saying you should try to have a morning routine that you do. Part of that is ritual, right? The reason why that's important for some people is because then when you wake up, you don't have to get your brain going right away when you wake up to decide what you're going to do. You just know that in the morning you do this, and it becomes a habit, and it becomes something you do on autopilot. And it also is a time where your brain can process the dreams it had at night. You can take your time waking up if you're not a morning person. And it doesn't mean, like, I actually don't really like the idea of a morning routine, because I don't like the idea of something else I have to do. I don't like the idea, but if I reflect on my mornings, I usually do kind of the same thing without thinking. I wake up, I go outside, check on the weather, get the coffee going, walk the dogs, and I do all of that really without having to put so much mental energy into it. Let's keep going here with the tarot. The idea of ritual and the different seasons of the witch and the different festivals and rituals that the witches use also is, aligning itself with the timing of the earthly cycles, with the different things we do during the summer, the spring, the autumn, and the winter. Also, the idea of a lot of Witchy Wisdom talks about working with the moon cycles. So those are all things that can help us be productive and engaged in beneficial activities without putting much thought to it. If you think about the idea of the seasons, like spring is a time of growth and awakening. Summer is a time of high energy and accomplishing things. Autumn or fall is a time of reaping rewards from all the hard work we put in, harvesting and preparing for winter. And then winter is a time of reflection and quiet rest. There's not as much sun out during the day during the winter season. So, if you think about ancient times, right, they didn't have lights. So when the sun went down, unless they wanted to figure out how to have candles all over or whatever, they probably just would go to sleep because it was dark. And that idea of working with the seasons, working with the moon cycles, having rituals and habits, so we kind of know how to act without having to think about it so much. All right, tarot. Oh, this one's flipping over right away. The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups talks about emotional, psychic, love, and sometimes creativity in an intuitive sense. Intuition for sure. Knight of Cups sometimes talks about an offer coming in. We have this lady bathing herself or floating in water. This horse has put one foot into the water. Okay, we have the Six of Cups flipping over here. This is definitely talking about balance of giving and receiving. This is a lady who's in a state of abundance and she has enough to share with other people. She's also reflecting on a picture there in a happy way. It's a small ritual, a small ritual or habit for remembering things that make us emotionally happy and fulfilled could be just looking through pictures, right? That's pretty literal depiction there about things that can bring us emotional fulfillment. Looking at pictures of happy times, of all the things in our lives that we have going for us. The idea of vision board just came through. You know, a lot of people talk about the idea of having a vision board so that you can, and putting it in a place in your house where you see it every day. That's a small ritual that could be helpful, because then every day you walk by and see your vision about what you want to bring into your life. And it takes time of reflection, right? If you're going to put together a true vision board that's not just finding all the flashy magazine pictures that look cool, if you take time to put together a thoughtful vision board about what you want to bring into your life, then you've taken that time to reflect. You've put in that work to come up with your vision, and then after you've made it, you don't have to work so hard to think about your vision, because you have a vision board placed, something visual to see, and you just walk by it several times a day. And it's a reminder without thinking so hard about what you're bringing into your life. I also think it's cool how different aspects of pictures or vision boards catch our eye at different times is another sign or symbol from universe and spirit about like something to remind us of what action to take, what decision to make. Sparks of inspiration and creativity sometimes coming through when we just see one part of a picture that maybe we didn't see before. So we have two flipping out here, and they're saying don't reverse it. It's just this. Yeah, the Eight of Wands. Look at that. Speed, rapid action, rapid inspiration, rapid creativity. She looks like she's dressed in a postman's outfit, like the old-time mailman outfit. She's got her satchel there. She's got her cat partner there, looking wide-eyed, like, here we go. And then the other one was the moon coming out. Number 18, that's awesome. Look at that. Best possible decision, and the moon. Artemis, goddess of the bow, help me see what must be known. She has a partner with her too, with this little dog here. Looking wide-eyed as well. Look at your partners looking wide-eyed in each card. The cat has wide eyes and the dog has wide eyes. Both loyal partners and spirit guides for you. There's another little dog looking on here in the background. Something that took a little bit of time to see. And look at how she's holding this ribbon, but it's becoming the river that goes to the castle. Everything kind of came together there in my mind, and I just need to figure out how to find the words to communicate it in the best way. So, like, the idea of doing a little bit of work ahead of time to set a foundation of something so that every step that follows becomes easier. This lady's taken time to put the pictures up on her wall, to plant the flowers, to arrange the cups. This lady has gathered the ribbon to make the river. And then we do a little bit of work ahead of time, and then we set a good foundation for ourselves. And then we can get into a habit of just moving forward and achieving in a good way, a nice balanced way, not feeling the pressure to achieve, but like achieving new and wonderful things for ourselves. We set the foundation, and then when the offer comes in or the quick inspiration comes in, we'll be ready to act without having to do a whole lot more work, because we've done some of the initial groundwork, laid the foundation. Woo! 7 of Wands flipped out of there. ready to defend himself. That's interesting, where we're kind of talking about how to move ourselves forward, setting a foundation so that when inspiration hits and the offers come in, we're ready to act. The Seven of Wands bringing in a little bit of different energy there. So let me get one more tarot card, or however many we're going to flip out. Get some more information to go with that Seven of Wands there. The idea of protecting and defending that which you care about there. Okay, we have the Fool. Oh, there's two there. So the one on top there is the Fool card, 0. Protecting and defending the ability to move forward and have new beginnings in a smart way. Look at this dog here is holding the rope that's keeping this guy from going over the cliff. A little bit different message there, where if we have a nice solid foundation laid, witchy wisdom coming in, like ancient knowledge, to like lay the foundation, do the groundwork. Not only can we use a solid foundation during times of offers coming in and inspiration so we're ready to act, but we can use it to defend the things that we care about and protect them so that we don't fall into the chaos that may be around us. We have something that grounds us. Yeah, grounding coming through really strongly. Going back to the way that the universe is all connected, everything in the universe is connected. I am God, I am goddess, I am creation, and I am the creator. Grounding that idea that everything is connected so that you can see how things go together in times of inspiration and in times of chaos. In times of peace and in times of chaos. This is a peaceful card where this lady's just sitting there, not rushing or anything. We have times that are busy, and then we have times where we're facing some kind of adversity. And that solid foundation and way that we ground ourselves to universal knowledge and remembering that everything's connected is helpful for us to get through those situations. Okay, and the other one that came out was the Knight of Swords. Mental activity, thoughts coming in. This is a little bit faster paced than this Knight of Cups over here, but look at this, a knight and a knight bookending your reading there, pile 2. Almost 2 different energies, right, in your reading here with the moon in the middle. So you have over here, you have the happy offer coming in, a content, peaceful feeling, inspired, happy, moving forward in a busy way that we're happy about. And then over here we have the challenges and adversity we face, the chaos that we feel like we're in sometimes, mental confusion and thoughts and ideas coming in really quickly for us to process. And then the moon is in the middle with the idea of intuition and reflecting on things in different perspectives, especially those that may not be readily apparent or obvious. And the idea of making best possible decisions by taking time to reflect and being grounded. Nothing's bothering this lady here in the moon card. She's just ready. She's dealing with whatever. That dog looks like it might be freaking out a little bit, but she's not. She's still calm and determined and thoughtful and peaceful. Yeah, the main message so far coming in for you, pile 2, is the ancient knowledge and witchy wisdom that we need to remember is that being grounded and taking time to reflect is important and helpful for us to face no matter what kind of situation we're in, whether it's peaceful or chaotic. And then we can feel confident in the decisions we're making. And Spirit is protecting us. And rituals can be helpful so that we're not having to work so hard all the time to keep our head about ourselves, basically. Okay, let's see from the other oracles we have down here. We have, let me move these over just a little bit here. From the Earthly Souls and Spirit Moon Oracle, we have Create. Look at the difference in these cards. Both of these are indicating creation and the idea of movement there on the 8 of Wands, but and the fire energy really is where I was getting that creativity idea, because the Wands is the fire element. Look at the difference in these two cards where we're seeing both. We're seeing rapid action and we're seeing time for reflection and pause. And both are creating something. Both are taking advantage of being creative and having inspiration coming in. But different paces. One is slow, one is fast. Okay. Pile 2, this is really, really, really awesome. I'm going to show you the guidebook for this Create card because it's tied everything together in a nice way that has said it better than I have. So let me put the guidebook here so you can see it and screenshot if you would like. We have the quote here from a person named Wayne Dyer. It says, "You create your thoughts. Your thoughts create your intentions, and your intentions create your reality." That ties back nicely to this Yule log number 44 that said, "I am God, I am Goddess, I am creation, and the creator." So you are in charge of what you think about. Your thoughts and then what you think about then creates the intentions that you have internally and externally, right? Not only like what you're thinking about is setting the intention internally for yourself, but then also what you're thinking about sets the intention for what universe and spirit are picking up on, and the energy that goes throughout the world and connects everything is picking up on what you're thinking about, right? So if you're only thinking about negative things, the universe is picking up on that negative energy. And that's why a lot of people say, like, when you think bad thoughts, bad things come to your life. You attract what you think about. So think positive and positive things come into your life. Another thing that we're hearing a lot about, and it can get tiresome to hear about, but this is coming through to say that no, that is a thing. Try and reframe any negative thoughts that you have in a positive light, or see how positivity can come out of a situation in some way, no matter how difficult. And then your intentions create your reality. It says, "Time to create positive change in your life. Sow your seeds now for your new endeavors to grow." So that goes back to this whole message here about creating a foundation for yourself, grounding into something, creating those rituals and habits that make the rest of life easier for you because you don't have to think about everything all the time. Sow your seeds now for your new endeavors to grow. both knights here talking about new endeavors. This Knight of Cups more like a new emotional offer, and the Knight of Swords about a new thought or idea coming in. It says, cultivate your seeds, water them, and watch them grow. Be your own architect. Build your realm exactly as you need it to be. So that's the idea of having the vision board about what you want your life to be, and then constantly reminding yourself about that, reinforcing the idea of what you want to bring into your life in a positive way. Do not let fear or uncertainty hold you back. That's talking about these types of energy that I mentioned before. And it says, forge ahead with fire in your heart and conviction in your soul. That last line there. That's the Eight of Wands energy there, where she's really happy to be flying really fast through the sky there. And then from the Raven's Wand Oracle, we have commitments. We've got a pack of wolves there and a witch with a red cape on, reminding us of Little Red Riding Hood in some way. The thing coming through here first that I'm seeing from this card is commit to being in charge of your own life, pile 2. With all the information that we had leading up, is commit to it. From the Oracle of Novice Witches, we have Morgan Le Fay with inspiration. Morgan Le Fay is related to the King Arthur, Holy Grail, Arthurian Legends, Avalon. This is falling under the Seven of Wands energy and the Fool energy that kind of made me think of mental confusion with how he's got all these things coming off of his hat. And we have 2 figures here struggling. The guidebook for this Morgan Le Fay card talks about how she's one of the most mysterious figures from the Avalon mythology and stories, because she taps into the fairy energy, which is able to bring in extreme happiness, but also extreme chaos, right? So this is reminding me of what we said earlier about how your thoughts create intentions and intentions create reality, and really trying hard to have those be a positive thought, have a positive energy around them, good intentions behind your actions, because we can create chaos or we can create happiness. And our thoughts have a lot to do with that. Coming through really, really strongly from the very beginning with all this reflection time. From the Enchanted Spell Oracle, you have 2. You have Enchantment with the dates on there, February 18 to March 17th. This is a timeless reading, but we are in that time frame right now. Also Ash Tree on there and Enchantment. We have a little dragon there with a fish tail. Just going over here. And then the other one was Integrity. We have on there holly, oak, ivy, sage, rowan, blossom, almond, elder. A mushroom on there, symbols of the earth there at the top. Integrity. Look at the eye on her third eye forehead location. Intuition, important. Yeah, that goes right with your moon card there. Use your intuition and your thoughts because they're powerful. Look at the difference in these 2 cards, where this Fool card with all these crazy parts of his hat coming off of there made me think about mental confusion and chaos. And look at this person, the lady in this card has the Joker hat on as well, but it's neat and orderly. those are two different states that we can be in based on how we're thinking and what kind of energy we're putting behind our intentions, positive or negative. Protect your ability to have positive thoughts and feelings, and use your intuition to identify those times when you may be being drawn into chaos and confusion, but you control how you're thinking and responding in situations, so you don't have to be drawn into that drama and chaos. You can get through it. You're protected by spirit to make the best possible decisions. Integrity is important with making sure that you're acting with positive intentions for yourself and for others, and you're acting in a way that is true to yourself and your core. That's really a strong witchy wisdom, ancient knowledge. Don't just follow the crowd, basically, is what that's saying. Make sure that your actions and intentions are really something that speaks to yourself, not just doing what other people want. Committing to being responsible for your own life. Make the commitment to take care of yourself and create the world that you want, is what is coming through Pile 2. I hope that this reading has been helpful for you, Pile 2. I am going to end it here. Thank you for spending time with me, and I hope to see you again in a future reading. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to this reading where we're asking for information from Witchy Wisdom about the forgotten knowledge that we could still be using in a helpful way for us even today. So asking for information from Spirit and Universe about things that maybe those who have come before us have learned and knew about, and maybe we've forgotten about or think no longer applies to us. Asking about the ancient, tried and true traditions that we can still use as we go through transformation and move forward, and also how we can know the best way of deciding what to keep with us and carry forward and what can be released. You've come to the reading with the Ask the Witch Tarot. We're going to set that aside for now. And this amethyst double point. I'm using amethyst for this series of readings because amethyst really is one of those stones that does a lot of things. It connects us with our own intuition, it connects us with spirit, and it has a calming effect, a grounding effect as well. So we're going to be starting your reading with those oracle cards here. This first card from the Seasons of the Witch, Yule Oracle, is kind of meant to help us know the main idea of information, forgotten knowledge, witchy wisdom that this reading wants to talk to us about. And it is a timeless reading, but I am doing this at a time where winter is coming to an end and we're getting ready to move into spring. So I've used the Yule Oracle here and this Earthcraft Oracle here with these bright spring colors on this side. If there's any indications of timing coming in for anything that may help. So from the Yule Oracle, we have mistletoe, number 22. Whoa, sorry. What dreams may come from the borrowing of ivy held tight within the womb. A calling in of sorts, a spell from above. Holy holly. Number 22 on there, master number, the builder. In this card, it's talking about how, in sense of timing, when drawing the card for timing, it says it is a great time for a new project, a new endeavor. It also talks about how mistletoe was used in ancient times as a sign of fertility and connection, used in love potions. So the idea of love and new relationships coming in, but also a good time for creative projects. So we have the idea here of those two things as like a current day indication of timing for those two things. But then the advice and information that I think is the time-tested information that we may forget about sometimes. It says, you don't have to do everything all at once. Small steps, just like asking a love interest for a kiss under the mistletoe, are enough to get you started. So this is the idea that small steps are helpful. We don't have to have everything figured out right away. Sometimes it seems like we need to have the entire plan figured out before we move forward, and this is saying that taking small steps is still moving forward, and it's helpful to do that. Taking small steps, that's coming through a lot, especially in the collective readings that I was doing, about taking a small step and then doing a check-in to see how that's impacted what you want to bring into your life and how it's impacted your situation. Because if you take small steps, then it's easier to change course if you need to change something, if you need to redirect yourself or redirect other people in your lives towards something in any way. When I'm doing these readings about forgotten knowledge and the wisdom that others that have come before us have figured out that we may forget about, I'm also thinking about those things that seem so obvious but are easy for us to forget. And I think this falls into that category where it seems so obvious that taking small steps is moving forward. It's easy to forget that those small steps are still doing something. They're still accomplishing something when we get tempted to have everything figured out, have the grand plan figured out, and do everything all at once. This is also speaking to slowing down a little bit and not trying to accomplish everything in one day. You need to manage your time so that you can decide the most important things to accomplish that day, decide which things can wait, and which things maybe you don't actually need to even do. So that's what's coming in as the energy pretty strongly, I would say, pile 3, for leading off your reading there. And this magical spell cards was intended to follow up on this to tell us how we can tap into that information. And you have... Whoa, 22. Pile 3, what is going on with you? 22. It says, safe travel. Keep me safe and let me roam far away, but bring me home. Wow, look at you, pile 3. You have 22 on this card and 22 on this card. Yeah, wow, okay. Signs and symbols from the universe helping you, protecting you. 22. From this Angel Numbers from Kyle Gray book, we have number 22 saying, you have power and gifts that will light up the world. Focus on the highest good. You were born to shine. So focus on the highest good, coming through as something really important for you, pile 3. Taking those small steps, not doing everything all at once, and focusing on the higher good, coming through really strongly. And you're protected by spirit here as you move forward. Even small steps contribute to the higher good, is what I'm hearing in terms of summarizing those two cards. So the idea that we have to have some big grand plan to bring about the higher good is being tempered here a little bit by saying that even small steps contribute to the higher good. Every little positive thought that you have, every little act of kindness that you do, it all contributes to the higher good, and it doesn't have to be some great grand gesture. You don't have to have some grand plan figured out. I think with this ship on here, if you think about like ancient explorers setting out, they had an idea of where they were going, but they didn't have every single movement of the trip figured out. They had to adjust with how the ocean behaved and how the weather behaved and what they ran into along the way. If they came across an island they didn't expect, they had to adjust to that. So the idea of the higher good and having an end goal in mind is coming here, and then just doing small steps to get towards your main goal and towards the higher good. From the Green Witch Oracle, we have Stimulation with chili, number 18 on there, reduces to 9. A little feather on here, and Aries energy with fire energy. The timing of this reading, we are getting ready to move into Aries season if you're looking for indication of timing. Stimulation there. I'm being reminded here of the idea of the butterfly effect, basically how one small action creates another action and then becomes something bigger, or the snowball effect, how the snowball gets bigger rolling down the hill. A lot of times that's thought of in a negative way with the snowball effect, like, oh, it just can make things worse and worse. But in this case, it's being brought through as a positive energy in terms of every little act being a stimulus for greater good to come about. And these feathers right here, I was just kind of, I don't want to really say it's only one thing, but what came through when I'm looking at this feather is like a thank you from Spirit and the universe, or an acknowledgement from Spirit and universe when you've done something that's a small step but had a big impact towards the greater good. Like, you'll see a feather. That's something really specific coming through. There's a little thank you from Spirit and the universe for doing small things that lead to the greater good. A really practical, small example here, or I don't know. Anyway, a little bit of an example for you is I kind of was thinking about this the other day when I was in traffic. There was a construction zone and like one lane was ending and nobody was letting the other people merge. And so I was like, let me see if I stop and let a car merge, if the person behind me will do that. And it actually happened that way. Like, I let the person merge, and then the row behind me, everybody started merging. Like, the cars behind me started pausing and letting the other person in. And I was like, that's really cool. Like, one little act of kindness then inspires other people to act in a kind way, right? And that whole thing of construction zones is really frustrating to be in when we get caught in one in traffic and you just want to get through. And there is actually, I talked one time with somebody who works in construction, and they say that they put the merge lanes in the place that will let traffic flow the best, but because people don't merge in the way that the traffic pattern is designed, it gets all stopped up. So if people would just flow in the way that the construction people design the lanes to merge, then everything would flow and traffic wouldn't get so backed up. So that's one small example, right, of how that's not really significant, but in terms of like contributing to the higher good, but it helped us flow better that day. And I was happy about it. It was a little bit of an experiment I did, and it was kind of cool to see how that turned out. So, small acts of kindness, every positive thought, stimulating and inspiring others to do good. Okay, from the Earthcraft Oracle, we have number 33, Spirit of the West. Another master number for you, pile 3. You have 22 as a master number, which is the builder, and 33 is the master number for bringing things into being. This card in the guidebook is talking about how the Spirit of the West comes to you when you need a break. Basically, if you're stressed and on the verge of burnout, this is coming to you to remind you to take a break. Yeah, don't do everything all at once. Take a break. Give yourself time for rest is the main forgotten knowledge coming through for you, pile 3, with these two cards bookending the top of your reading there. And it says, and in this guidebook, it says, the rest of the world can wait until you have enough fuel to be its warrior again. Yes, if we're focused on the higher good and being a spiritual warrior and combating evil and the things that hold us back in life, it can be really tempting just to keep pushing forward. So this is a reminder that we need to take time out to rest. We don't have to do everything all at once. Baby steps can help. Really coming through very clearly for you, pile 3. Okay, let's see from the tarot. This is the Ask the Witch tarot. Let's see what more information we can get. Here, let me get some room here. I don't know why these cards shuffle good until the top part, and then I have to really focus to get the rest of them to shuffle on that top section. It's funny. It's interesting how cards have their own behavior. Whoa. Okay. Hopefully that example of the traffic wasn't annoying for you, pile 3. I think maybe I saw the word travel there and I was just reminded of that little experiment I did. All right, what else for pile 3? Witchy wisdom, please. Forgotten knowledge, things that may seem obvious. All right, so we have the 4 of Wands coming out as the one that stayed flipped over, which is about celebration and union, happiness, victory. Yeah. That's really positive energy coming out. It wants to be like right there. And then these ones are going back in the deck. And I find this little situation here to be really interesting. Your pile 3, we had like in that whole card chaos there, we had 3 neat little piles fall out. So what are we doing with these pile 3? Spirit, universe, witchy wisdom. What are we doing with these 3? I'm almost being told that like these are going to be indicating steps to take. Like your reading is really talking about doing things in steps. So I guess, okay, yeah. So let's see here. If I shuffle these, there's a little chunk. I don't know if this will work. If one will come out. No. Okay. Pile 3, bear with me. I'm hearing like a little bit like from Spirit to do this weird like rapid card flip thing. Here, let me make some room here. So like I'm going to flip these and we're just going to get like quick hit messages, small steps. Yeah, that actually fits in with your reading really well, where I'm not going to be like looking at a whole long drawn out row of tarot cards. We're just going to get quick hits. So we have 8 of Swords, mental blocks, 2 of Cups, partnership, 5 of Wands, petty conflict. Partnership and working together helps us get out of feelings of being stuck and mentally blocked and getting drawn into petty conflict. Then we have Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and the World. Material abundance and emotional fulfillment, because this embodies the idea of water. So material abundance, emotional fulfillment equals ultimate happiness. Not just material abundance, not just emotional fulfillment, but when we have both and figure out how to balance those, we get ultimate happiness and abundance. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. We have Six of Cups and Page of Cups. So patience and hard work, putting in hard work and having patience leads to a state of being able to give and receive, having enough to give others and share. It has the butterfly effect on others because the Page of Cups is an emotional beginning, a new offer coming in, inspiration in the emotional world, emotional realm. So yeah, this is talking about those small steps that we do that then carry on and have impact that lead to the greater good. So putting in a little bit of hard work and then having patience to get to a point where we can share and have balanced giving and receiving then encourages other people to do that as well and leads to more people being on a path towards emotional fulfillment and having the intention of helping others, giving and receiving, helping others get to a state of emotional fulfillment. And then we have Ace of Swords. This is the last one in that pile. Three of Pentacles and Four of Cups. Solid thinking and new ideas coming in, matched with work and cooperation. I almost said hard work, but I stopped and said just work. But then when I see the Four of Cups, this is telling me that this is a little bit of a caution that about how we might be blindsided, because the Four of Cups talks about how this person is focused on these three cups, but universe is trying to bring something new in for them, a new offer. If we get too focused on coming up with new and great creative ideas and working hard and being too focused on one thing, we may miss something that the universe, spirit, other people are trying to bring in. Don't get tunnel vision is what's coming through here. Yes, focus is helpful, but don't focus so much that you forget about other things that may be going around you that may be helpful. Well, that was interesting. Never done that in a reading before. So what are we doing with these? Look at that. You have two left. Okay, this is cool. I don't know what's happening with your reading pile 3, but I like it and it's cool. And I'm just going to keep going with it. So these two here, we have the Seven of Cups, options and perspectives, and the Two of Swords in reverse. Two of Swords usually talks about making decisions. Yeah, so making sure you don't blindside or you don't focus so much that you forget about other things going on. Make sure is helpful for you not getting blindsided by ignoring other options. Keep your eyes open, keep paying attention to what's going on around you. Yes, focus is helpful, but not so intent of a focus that you miss things that spirit, universe, other people may be trying to bring in. Because when you see and consider all the options, your decision making is easier. Not necessarily that seeing and considering all the options makes your decision easier, but it may point you to a better option. That's a better way of saying that. That you may have an idea and you're able to do it, and then you just stay focused on doing that one thing, but you may be missing something. And so if you take time to consider all the other options, you may identify a better option for you. And then the decision will become more clear. Hopefully that made sense, pile 3. And then these other two down here, we had the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, material abundance, things on the earthly plane, new offers in the material world, like things coming in, money, relationships, jobs, houses, homes, anything in the material world here. We're talking about small steps leading to the greater good and helping you get to your main goals, taking time out to rest. And this is indicating success and abundance here with the King of Pentacles and a new material offer coming in. This right here is talking about helping us when we take small steps, small positive thoughts, small acts of kindness, taking time to rest. It will help us decide whether or not what we have is enough or if we need something new. So we don't get caught up in always trying to do new and different. This is going to help us. Everything we've talked about so far is going to help us decide when we have enough or if we need something new. Well, that was kind of a cool little detour for your reading, pile 3. A little different. Never done that before. Hopefully that was not too distracting for you, and hopefully it was still helpful. Let's see, back to the oracle cards that we had. From the Earthly Souls and Spirit Moon Oracle, you have balance. Yeah. Balance was the 6 of Cups that came out in one of those. Balancing activity and being busy with rest and recovery. It seems simple, but we need to make sure that we balance being busy with giving ourselves a break and a time out. From the Ravens Wand Oracle, we have, prove yourself. Come on, prove yourself. Look at all those cats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cats. Prove yourself. This is adding on to this little bit of a caution from Spirit about always trying to be finding the new and different way and getting overly focused on one thing. Also the idea in society that we have to prove ourselves, that we have to prove we're successful, prove we're smart, prove we're good. This is a little bit about just knowing when you know that you're successful and smart and doing good, contributing to the greater good, that's enough. It's coming out right here next to this 2 here where it was like helping or encouraging us to consider when we have enough and when we need something new. That starts within yourself, pile 3, with your own self-acceptance. If you consider yourself successful, smart, confident, capable, and contributing to the higher good, that's enough. Remember, it said don't do everything all at once. Small steps are enough. That first small step for you, pile 3, may be coming to a state of self-acceptance. Taking care of yourself and accepting yourself and self-love is really one of those things that definitely comes through as ancient information, tried and true practices that are still helpful for us. And the Witchy Wisdom coming through to remind you to start with yourself there. Don't feel pressure to prove yourself to the rest of the world, pile 3. From the Oracle of Novice Witches, we have Biddy Early with nature. The Raven coming through really strong in all the readings so far, pile 3. This nature card definitely fits in with this Pentacles Earth energy here. The guidebook explains how Biddy Early is a really famous Irish woman who was considered one of the wisest of wise women. And she was so famous in Ireland that people came from all across the country and lands far away to have her cure animals and humans. She was an herbalist and clairvoyant. It says, when she appears in an oracle, rejoice. She brings healing and a healthy relationship with nature. She reminds us to get outside and walk, dive into the water, lie down in the grass, and maintain a dialogue with animals and plants all around us. Balancing the rest. It's falling under the 33 Spirit of the West card there that reminded us to take time out and rest. Connecting with nature, you have strong earth energy here. Sometimes just going outside and being in nature helps you come to an understanding when you have enough or when you need more. Like that idea of going out into nature and taking time out to rest and just observe what's going on around you. Like today, I'm outside and I'm listening to the birds sing and watching the wind go through the trees, and that's enough for me. That's enough for me right now because I've been blessed with the ability to take time out, and I've made that a priority for myself to take time out. And I am happy that I am sitting here listening to the birds and watching the trees and all that kind of thing. And also, when you do take that time out, it works for me anyway. When I take time out to go out, even for a walk around the neighborhood, a lot of times the ideas will come to me. If I keep sitting at the desk all the time, we had the Eight of Swords come out here. I'm almost get into a state of mental block. And then I'm like, get up and go for a walk. And then ideas start coming to me. So it actually took me a little while. We're talking about things that seem obvious, but we forget about. It took a while for me to realize that going outside and walking was part of my process. That getting up and walking away from the desk was part of my process and was actually more productive. If I never get up and go outside or go for a walk, then imagine my life stuck sitting at a desk all the time. I don't want that. Getting out in nature can bring inspiration to you. Okay, from the Enchanted Spell Oracle, we have 2 cards. You have Prosperity. She looks joyful and happy. She's dancing with a glass of what looks like wine. The target in the background there indicating that she's reached her goals. Prosperity definitely matches up here with the King of Pentacles energy about earthly abundance. And then you have luck. Yay, good luck. We have Jupiter energy on there, the planet of luck. I'm thinking of the idea of how sometimes we think that some people are just lucky and other people are unlucky. And what's coming to mind there is a little bit of putting together bits and pieces of your reading where the people who are lucky may just be the ones that gave spirit and universe the time and space they needed to make things happen for them. So you think about something lucky happening to somebody, maybe it's because they just stepped away for a minute. They didn't try and do everything. They didn't try and control everything. They didn't try and force everything. They stepped away. They took time out, and that gave spirit and universe the room and space that they needed and time they needed to bring things in for you or for them. You in this case, you get it. Prosperity and luck coming out here together for you, pile 3, indicating that you can still become prosperous and abundant, even though you may feel like you're only taking small steps. Because every small step, every positive intention, every small act of kindness creates a butterfly effect and a positive snowball effect that encourages the rest of the world to do good as well. And that adds to the goal of contributing to the higher good. And on a more personal level, every small step that you take is one more step towards your main goal. And that's enough. Give yourself a break, pile 3. Give spirit and universe the space and time they may need to help you out. That right there with that luck card coming out and everything I've said there is the main message of Witchy Wisdom coming in for you. Is take time out, connect with nature, and give the universe and spirit time to help you out. Don't get so focused on controlling everything. Small steps help, pile 3. And they're protecting you. You're protected with that safe travel card there. Remember, you had 22, 22, and then 33 come out. Take that for whatever you feel like that means for you. Pile 3, this was a really interesting reading with how this like little quick fire, quick hit card thing fell out. That was really cool how they all matched up like that. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found this reading helpful. I am going to end it here. So thanks for spending time with me, and I hope to see you again in a future reading. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to this reading where we're asking for information from Witchy Wisdom. We're asking Spirit and Universe for information about forgotten knowledge, those things that those who have come before us may have known and thought about all the time that we don't necessarily do anymore, think about anymore, but can still be helpful for us if we remember them. And also, this is drawing on those things that seem obvious and easy, but we forget about. You've come to the reading with the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. We'll set that aside for now. And this raw amethyst crystal. This is going to be a series that I do for forgotten knowledge readings. And I'm going to be using amethyst for all of them, because amethyst is a great stone for a lot of things, helps you connect to your own intuition, connects to spirit, and also helps us stay calm and all the good things. So for this reading, we're starting with these oracle cards up here. This is the Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle. This is a timeless reading, but I am doing it as winter is coming to an end and spring is just around the corner. So kind of a last chance for me to use the Yule Oracle in line with the earthly rhythms. And then I've done a progression here, put this Earthcraft Oracle here with those bright spring colors and flowers there. So if there's any kind of indications of timing or things that are relevant, that may come through. So from the Yule Oracle, Seasons of the Witch, you have Ringing the Bells, number 30, almost said 39. Ring thy bell to cast them out, ring thy bell and dance about. Swirl the sounds amidst the winds, nowhere to hide, for all will ring. This card here is meant to be the main theme of the reading in terms of the forgotten knowledge that the reading wants to talk about. I mean, this is a happy little elk here. He's really smiling. He's got bells on his necklace there. Swirl the sounds amidst the winds, nowhere to hide, for all will ring. This is talking about universal truths emerging. This is a really timely card to come out. Again, this is a timeless reading no matter when you find it, but at the time that I'm doing the reading, which obviously impacts the messages coming through, right? Which still could be relevant to you no matter when you find the video. We are approaching a time where Pluto is going to be moving into Aquarius, and that is being talked about as a major astrological event where all the truths about things that were hidden from us before are going to start emerging, is one of the things I'm hearing about that significance of Pluto moving into Aquarius. ringing your bell to cast them out, ringing your bell and dancing about is telling me about speaking your truth is what's coming through to me. And then the whole nowhere to hide, universal truths coming out. A time of joy and celebration with bell ringing and dancing, because we're going to be finally learning about universal truths. It's almost a recognition from Spirit and Universe that the whole purpose of this reading is being celebrated in terms of bringing out the forgotten knowledge that should be accessible to more of us. A lot coming through with that card that could be talked about. A lot coming through with that card that I just feel, and it's hard for me to put into words. So hopefully it'll become more clear, especially because it made me think about speaking your truth. Please help me speak. So let's see what more we can get as the reading goes. The guidebook is helpful with talking about what the creator wanted this card to convey. It says that bells bring about joy and are simple musical instruments that basically anybody can ring and bring about joy with. And then it says bells are also used to raise energy during rituals and to increase the effectiveness of spells and to cleanse negative energy. And it talks about not only doing that for your space in your home and where you spend your time, but also with your soul. It says energy tends to hide in dark places and dusty corners. And like your space, the soul can be full of tiny pockets of low vibrational energy that you may not realize are there. So that is a really good time-tested ritual about cleansing your space and getting rid of negative energy. And this is saying that your body and your soul can also hold on to that low vibrational energy. And we need to take time to identify those little pockets of negative energy, even if they seem minor and insignificant, to identify those areas of negativity in our life and figure out what we need to do to purify and cleanse those. The second card from the magical spell cards was meant to help us figure out how to tap into that. And you have number 23, reduces to 5 with romance. Romance, it is a sacred power. Let it come to me this hour. 23 reduces to 5. 5 could be a number of change. So romance could be talking about an actual romantic relationship with another person. It could also just be talking about the broader idea of love, universal love. On a broader scale, this is talking about purifying negativity with love and kindness and compassion. And it also, because we have the idea of romance coming in here, it can be talking about finding that partner who helps you become a better person, basically, and you help them become a better person. It's talking about great partnership here that is making the lives of both people better, basically, and how we help each other overcome our challenges and our own negativity, talking about support networks that help us. From the Green Witch Oracle, you have clarity with the carrot, number 1 on there, and Virgo energy. You have the all-seeing eye, nowhere to hide, the all-seeing eye. That is so cool. Clarity. Truths are coming out. Universal truths exist, and they're going to be exposed. And love can help us identify the universal truths that are helpful for us. From the Earthcraft Oracle, you have 39, Thunderstorm. That's really funny because I thought that was a 39 when it first came out. 39 reduces to 12, reduces to 3. Thunderstorm. This person is dancing. We had dance on this card as well. And look at this lightning coming into his chest, his heart area. Romance, heart area, heart chakra, love, universal love, really strong throughout your reading. Love matched with truth. Love and truth. true love. Really nice alignment with your 4 cards, bringing together love and truth. This is really helpful from the guidebook, and it aligns up really nicely with this idea about universal truths being exposed. Pluto bringing about things that were hidden from the majority. Pluto moving into Aquarius, bringing about hidden things, nowhere to hide. Clarity on this card. And the guidebook for this 39th thunderstorm says that storms, although scary and unsettling sometimes, clear the air ultimately and make space for better clarity and focus. Rude awakenings bring clarity to the consequences of our actions or lack of action. So for some of the people out there who have been hiding the truth or not acknowledging something that should be acknowledged, it may be a rude awakening for them when the truth is spoken about and then when the truth is uncovered. It can seem like a rude awakening. So this is also talking about you personally, things that maybe you have been avoiding or don't want to acknowledge, that taking time now to recognize those areas in your life will help you avoid those rude awakenings, but also preparing for us for the reaction in society when truth is revealed, that there are going to be portions and groups within society that will be hit hard by those truths or rude awakenings. People who are hiding the truth right now are going to be in for a rude awakening when the rest of us learn something they may be hiding. So I hope that's making sense. It says beliefs and values you hold dear are put to the test to determine whether or not they are strong enough to hold you as you transcend to your next level. So we were also asking this reading for information on how to identify those things we should keep with us during times of transformation and when those things that we should release. So this thunderstorm card is coming in to help us clear the air and identify that by matching up love with truth. Truth and love go together. A very basic, forgotten knowledge. Okay, let's see what more we can get from tarot. This is the Witch's Wisdom tarot. If you've not seen it, it uses a little bit of it's based on the Rider-Waite, but they've reordered it. The creators took a pretty significant time out for reflection about the tarot and kind of reordered the cards. And if they come out, I'll talk about it as they come out. It's a pretty cool deck. And we're talking about truths coming out and universal love. And universal love, also those universal bits of knowledge that flow through the universe. Okay, let me rephrase. Tarot is one of those ancient systems that sometimes we forget about how helpful it can be, right? So on a personal level for me, this Witch's Wisdom deck was one of the decks that helped me recognize that tarot wasn't some crazy, scary system that was going to bring all kinds of weirdness into my life. Because I saw it in a reading on YouTube, and because the creators had reordered it and made their own system, it helped me recognize that there was more than one perspective that tarot would show us. Because my initial hesitancy to get involved or trust tarot was I thought it was some kind of system that was just going to be pushing one agenda, like each card meant one thing, and then it was just pushing one agenda, one message, and I was completely wrong about that, right? But this deck, because the creators made it in their own system, their own way, helped me realize that this was actually a helpful system for us. So let's see what we get from the Witch's Wisdom. universal truths, universal knowledge, universal energy coming through. No. If they wanted to come out, they'll come out again. There we go. Got 2 flipped out right away there. The top one is 6 of water. This is equivalent to the 6 of cups in a traditional tarot. This card talks about diving deep. Yeah, that matches up really well with the idea of uncovering things that may be hidden, that negative energy that's hiding out in our house, our home, our space, our soul, our body. Diving deep and uncovering that. And then the traditional 6 of cups talks about giving and receiving, a balance of that. But it also, if you imagine the traditional 6 of cups, it talks about childhood nostalgia. So this could be things that have been with us for a really long time. There may be joy or sadness that's trapped within us right now, and we need to do some work to uncover it. Either joy or sadness, or both, right? The other one that flipped over, the Craftsman of Water. This is equivalent to the Queen of Cups in a traditional tarot. Look at them dancing there. We have the serpent there that oftentimes talks about transforming through shedding its skin, releasing that which does not serve it anymore. The Queen of Cups is the nurturing guide, tapping into emotional and intuitive and psychic energy and power. In this deck, they've used the Queen position to identify with the masculine and the King position in a traditional tarot to identify with the feminine. And so they're talking about this card representing masculine fertility, useful opposition, being spontaneous, and lighten up, basically, it says. One thing helpful here where that fits in with the context of your reading, it says, look at the beliefs you depend on and take for granted. When the opposite of what you expect appears, or when you've made a fool of yourself, it says in quotes, laugh at yourself and learn something useful. Let the unexpected open you up to being fully present in your life. It also says life is short, put the phone down. So this is helpful for how the thunderstorm talked about unexpected events coming in, but ultimately clearing the air. We have a little spark of inspiration, spark of creativity coming in with that lightning. The idea of putting down your phone is very modern, right? And telling us that we still need to connect with the natural things in life. Technology is great and useful, but it has its limits, and we shouldn't be overly focused on technology. Make sure we give our time away from the influence of media and technology, and we connect with nature and all the good information that nature and spirit and universe can bring to us when we're not focused on scrolling through things on the phone. The idea of this Craftsman of Water card telling us to identify the things that we may have taken for granted. That's an idea of doing that to gain some clarity on the things that are more sorry, let me stop shuffling for a second. The idea of looking at things we may take for granted. It can help us identify areas in our life that we should be grateful for, and we can add into our gratitude practices if we're doing that. But it can also help us gain some clarity on the things that mean the most to us, clarity on the things that are bringing us support and stability. If something has been around so long that we start to take it for granted, it means it's a foundation and a thing that we can rely on. And if we identify those things that we take for granted as always being there, we should take some time to recognize how important those are in our lives and what it would mean if we didn't have those. And then we can then further reflect on how we can be grateful for those and continue to nourish those aspects of our lives that have provided us a great foundation. Saying that just drew me back to this romance card here, and I'm being kind of called to talk about long-term relationships here. With a long-term relationship, making sure that partners aren't starting to take each other for granted as in they'll always be there, and they don't have to nourish that relationship anymore because it just seems like it will always be there. This isn't me trying to say that things are going to fall apart, but it's just a reminder that especially as things become more stable, they can sometimes seem like they get more boring and stagnant, but we need to make sure that we don't view them as boring and stagnant. We recognize them as foundations and supportive aspects of our lives that are helping us. So this is just a reminder to look at the things in your life that you may have started to take for granted and renew your perspective on them as things that are providing you stability, support, and foundations. And the idea of partnership there and romance is coming through really strongly. So for those in pile 4 who may be involved in a long-term relationship, that may be a specific message for you to make sure that neither partner feels like they're being taken for granted. Okay, what else, Spirit and Universe, for our pile 4 about truth and love matching up to bring clarity and focus? Okay, we have the Witch of Air. This is equivalent to the King of Swords in a traditional tarot. Knight of Swords in a traditional tarot. So this talks about bringing in new ideas, bringing in new thoughts, new ways of thinking, new perspective, definitely coming through here in your reading, or considering taking a look at things again in your life and maybe viewing them in a new perspective or reframing the way that you think about things. We have 2 more falling out. We have the 3 of Fire, 3 of Wands, indicating travel and movement in the creative, inspirational, and action-related area of life. Moving forward. These are the little sparks of universal knowledge that can guide us on our path if we're observant enough to see them. And then the other one that came out is the Messenger of Air. This is the Page of Swords in a traditional tarot. Look at how this character in the card is carrying that goose and the other ones are flying. Nurturing a new thought, nurturing a new idea. So I just talked about how these little flames here are the little sparks of universal knowledge that can guide us if we are observant enough to pick up on them. And then the Page of Air comes out after it with this character holding on in a nice loving embrace to the goose there, embracing it, nourishing it. Yeah, so new thought, patterns and new ideas coming into the world need to be nurtured and cared for. A new way of thinking and a new way of being uncovered and brought out into the world as a thing to celebrate is an idea that needs to be nurtured and cared for, because not everybody will view it that way. Remember the cards talking about how a new way of being, or when truths are revealed, it can be a rude awakening for some people. So change can be, just like this card said, change can be really disruptive and scary sometimes. And so as we're trying to bring this world into a more positive state of being, where we're acknowledging that everything is connected and that love and truth go hand in hand together to bring clarity, that we need to nurture and care for those ideas in a patient, loving, compassionate way, because there's going to be some challenges with bringing the world along, right? If you can imagine some of the people in ancient times, or people involved in witchcraft, our ancestors coming up with new ideas that ultimately we rely on now, it probably was very scary bringing those into the world. And they needed to be patient and kind and persistent in order to get the rest of the world to catch up with the ideas that were ultimately good for us. One more coming out here, or two, no, yeah, and then we have the Pilgrim, the Zero card, the Fool card, accompanied with a fox there. A recent reading that I did mentioned that the fox is profoundly spiritual, yet talented in the natural world, and that's coming through again in this card. And in this deck, this card is almost like at the end of the cycle, after the World card. Let me shift these over. The creators of the deck spend quite a bit of time in the guidebook talking about the Pilgrim, or the Zero card here, and how it's a little bit of the world energy and it's a little bit of the Fool energy in a traditional tarot. And basically they're talking about the Pilgrim card indicating initiation. And it says, initiation is a ritual well known to British traditional witches, many other traditions, and indigenous peoples. It's a natural part of life. The process challenges and transforms us if we work with it. It's always a spiritual journey to our authentic self and to a sacred world. And then it also says that patterns will emerge to reveal the pilgrim's purpose and true meaning of her life, but it's trust rather than foresight that guides her. Trust that she will be taken care of as she travels. Free from the weight of constraints of the past, free from fear or expectations of the future, the pilgrim is fully present in the moment, in the world, in herself. The feather in her cap reflects the enlightenment she earned, and she seeks as her journey continues. Basically, it says, awaken to the magic within and around you. That's a universal, time-tested, ancient knowledge, forgotten knowledge thing that we tend to not notice in today's world, is that magic is all around us. So here is the guidebook for this Pilgrim card. There's a lot of information there, if you would like to screenshot it. And it says, weave your physical and spiritual life together, supported by the deep wisdom and love of Mother Earth. So that matches the fox energy on there, matches with the other reading I did that spoke about how the fox is profoundly spiritual, yet very talented in the natural world. So this is talking about initiation into a more profound, more spiritual way of being. And it's coming for the rest of the world on a larger scale, I think, with what's being said about with Pluto moving into Aquarius and Saturn moving into Pisces. There's a lot of information out there, and I don't want to make this reading totally about those, but they're coming in as relevant in your reading pile for, because it speaks about universal love, universal truth. Both of those aspects of astrology speak about love and truth. And this is talking about how an initiation into that needs to be nurtured and cared for. Those of us who are observant enough to notice the signs and symbols and sparks of inspiration that the universe are sending us need to be patient and compassionate and kind with the rest of people and help nurture and teach them, because they're also being initiated, and that can be painful. Okay, Tarot says it's done for now. Let's move into your oracle cards. From the Earthly Souls and Moon Spirit, we have Focus. Yeah, that goes with the Clarity card up there. I'm being given a simple message of this initiation that we just finished talking about is what we should be focused on right now. From the Raven's Wand Oracle, we have a moment. Yes, take a moment. Take a moment. These are coming in as really quick, clear, concise messages that I don't really need to drone on about. Take a moment to reflect on all of this and give people in your lives a moment to catch up, to get themselves together. This focus card also tying back to this idea of diving deep to uncover those hidden pockets of negativity so that we can release them ultimately. Look at how the Six of Water diving deep is like talking about going down deep, and then how it's next to this Craftsman of Water, how they're reaching up to the sky. It's like bridging together the depths of the ocean with the height of the sky. And we can tap into that. Taking a moment to be observant for those sparks of inspiration and information coming in from Spirit. Way down deep in the ocean and way up high in the sky, and then on Earth itself. From the Oracle of Novice Witches, we have Helena Petrovna Blavatsky with Fraternity. She is a very influential figure in secret esoteric knowledge, bringing that to the world. She goes right here with this Ringing of Bells card about there's nowhere to hide and the truth is coming out. She's one of the leaders in spiritual thought that brought about bringing esoteric wisdom to more people through writing and communication. Fraternity here speaks to partnership and friendship and cooperation. From the Enchanted Spell Oracle, we have healing with salt, echinacea, lemon balm, eucalyptus, St. John's wort, and rose on there. Ultimately, these truths that are being revealed will bring about healing for the world, which is much needed now. There's a lot of negativity and a lot of disconnection and a lot of separation that needs to be healed, and this is the time that we're coming into right now. The universal ancient knowledge that we may have forgotten about is the cycles of life, and how when things get disruptive and disconnected and injured and hurt, we need to take that time for healing, and we're coming into a time of healing, especially how these little three sparks of information lead me to look right here. So we're being led to a time of healing for the earth, for more people on earth to be healed. And then we have happiness. Yay! Healing and happiness, these go together as what we're being prepared for. We're going through some healing in order to bring about a more happy state. a state of love, a state of truth, a state of understanding, compassion, and kindness. A very general overall message about forgotten knowledge and witchy wisdom coming through here is that change and disruption may need to take place in order to bring us to a happier state of being where we heal from things that have damaged us in the past. In order to bring out clarity, we need to knock down walls to see more clearly, and that can be painful and scary. But the purpose of change and transformation is to get to a better place of being, a healthier and happier state of being for us personally, for society, and for Mother Earth. Yeah, that's what's coming to me for this reading, Pile 4. So I hope that you have found it helpful and insightful, and know that there are people out there on this initiation path that a lot of us are coming into. This Pilgrim Zero card talked about how initiation can happen willingly or unwillingly. It's letting us know that change and transformation are coming on a mass scale, and that the ultimate goal of that is a healthier, happier way of being, and there's going to be support out there for us. And we remember to really take a moment to reflect, to uncover those little pockets of negativity that can be purified and cleansed and reframed or transformed into more positive things for us. Pile 4, I hope you've enjoyed this reading, and I hope to see you again in another reading. Thanks for spending time with me.